Mange here. I'm watching, what else? In 4DX2, 4D on the chairs. No one's in the theater with me.
Why are you talking?
I hope that's because everyone who wanted to see this movie already has, and not because the quality of this movie is gonna suck. They got the Shazam trailer playing in the background. I already got a reaction to that. I will give you word on what I thought about this movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly, in about a second.
I liked it. Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I gotta get used to saying his name properly. I have always been calling him Brawly. See, I haven't seen the previous movie. This is my introduction to this character. I've seen him in video games, never played as him, wasn't a big fan of this guy. Now I know who he is, and we know a lot. Like, this movie was made canon. They said that everything that happens here happens within the continuity of Dragon Ball, and they put their stamp on it, man. The beginning of this movie was pure backstory. I think the first 30 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes of this movie was all in the past, laying down the foundation, and they did a great job, because now I feel like the answer to so many questions, like about Bardock, about, that's Goku's dad, Kakarot's dad, about Raditz and Vegeta and Planet Vegeta, we can always refer to this movie, giving it meaning. This is going to be a significant point in conversations when we're talking about Dragon Ball. I left off Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z, Kid Buu, and that was the last main villain. I did watch GT, not every episode, but when it was on TV and I was home on the Fridays that it aired on YTV, I watched it. Probably watched like 80% of the show. I got a general grasp of what happens in there. I did recognize Vegito and other references that they made. I'm there. I got my Dragon Ball knowledge. And GT's not even canon no more. I haven't watched Super. So that's where I'm coming from. So the blue hair, the red hair, what's that all about? Don't know. I know the rabbit dude who didn't join any of the fights. He didn't join the fighting. There's probably an answer for that. But they did a good job of like giving me the backstory also of what's been happening in Dragon Ball Super up to this point. So right away, the fans like me, the casual audience who grew up with it, but didn't, because, you know, I'm just not on the internet looking at that stuff. I'm watching comic book stuff. They filled me in properly. Good on them. Now, they did Bardock great. They did Frieza. Frieza had like a cool score. Every time he appeared on the screen, it was very evil, dark. Loved the music. Great job with Frieza in the beginning. Then we also got to give credit to the Scouters. They made it clear that these things, they made it more meaningful to me than it's ever been on the TV show. And we understand, you know, it only calculates 4 digits worth of your power level. So when it's over 9999, that should be the new thing. When it's over that, then it's like, oh, this guy's super. When Frieza saw that, oh look, there's some dudes over here with different power levels aiming weapons at me, zing. Very evil, very, very good. Frieza was done well in the beginning. Now, when we get to the present, it's Goku and Vegeta training on Earth, battling each other on a private island. And Goku was asked, and Vegeta are asked, why they still do the fighting. Why do you train and try to get more? He says there was that battle of worlds or something about the multiverse, and that happens in Super. And he also explains that's why he resurrected Frieza. Now I know why Frieza's back alive. And Vegeta said he trained because Frieza's back thanks to this idiot, and I need to be able to kill him because it's fucking Frieza. He destroyed Planet Vegeta, it's Frieza. Calling them monkeys and all that stuff. Now Bulma talks about the Dragon Balls and how she's gonna use them to get 5 years younger, because if any more than 5 it'll be obvious and they'll say, who's your surgeon? Haha, very funny. Not funny at all, I should say. And then Frieza, when we get to him, they ask him, you know, why do you want the Dragon Balls on Earth? And just like Goku and Vegeta thought, it was to make himself immortal so he wouldn't die. It wasn't true. It was, and you'll never guess this, but someone guessed it, to be 5 centimeters taller. I laughed. And I don't remember Frieza being that short in his Frieza form, final form, or one of his final forms. I don't remember him being that short. Did they amp it up over here? Because he didn't look too tall, but he wanted 5 centimeters, confirming they used the metric system out in space. They also use times like they use times that we use here, which is weird. You should just say years and not use times. But I'm overanalyzing. Of course, that's what I do here on Chillmonger. Now with Broly, to contain his abilities, they took out his monkey tail. That's what his dad did while he was on the planet. I didn't even get to that part. So Broly was a baby. He was in the same nest cocoon as Vegeta, in the same room of it. But because he wasn't high class, the King Vegeta, Vegeta the Third, threw him out. Dad of Broly was upset at this, and he sent him away to King Vegeta sent him away to a crappy planet where he wasn't going to survive. And the dad cared about his son, and he joined him on that planet. When he got there, he saw that his Saiyan gear was ripped and stretched out, which means he looked at the moon. That's why later on he'll pull out his tail and also puts a collar on him, which is stupid, because if this guy's really strong, no amount of metal is strong enough to contain a Super Saiyan. And you can actually see him at one point pulling on it. Oh man, too bad it's over there. It's like, remember when Thor in Ragnarok was getting shocked by that? Sorry, where was I? Thor and Ragnarok? That shouldn't be his weakness, that's his strength. And same with Broly. If you're strong enough to do all that stuff, you cannot be contained by no collar. BS. So Broly grows up, and both what was their names, man? Two members of the Frieza Force, the new Frieza Force, two aliens find them and say all this nice stuff. They never actually mention that Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta, but they're like, yo, if you hate Vegeta so much, you're gonna work for us, you're gonna be at our cause. Because they're just trying to get more members of the Frieza Force. And dude, Broly had a powerful on his scanner, he had a powerful power level. Good job, alright, he's joined them, it all makes sense. Broly is a soldier of Frieza. Broly is a soldier of his dad. His dad is still sour over the baby Vegeta thing, and there we go. So they do get to Earth. Vegeta and Goku were they called it the Ice Continent. Why didn't they just say our Antarctica? Maybe the makers of the show are flat earthers and don't believe in the whole North and South. Who knows, but they're in the Ice Continent looking for that final Dragon Ball. Well, Frieza sent some goons earlier with low power levels so they wouldn't be sensed to capture this. But, you know, surveillance cameras sensed them, and they knew, Goku and Vegeta knew what was up. The Dragon Balls are collected, and right before the wishing is going to begin, the fighting starts instead. I like the way that things picked up because I didn't remember Dragon Ball Z being this scientific and adding up level by level. I always thought it was yelling, I always remember it. But that's revisionist history, or maybe they're doing a better job of making the fights cooler. So we go to Super Saiyan 1 from Goku, and or Vegeta rather. Vegeta goes Super Saiyan just to end Broly. Broly's adapting and learning, and then Vegeta's hair turns red, and Broly gets a little bit stronger, and it is a natural progression, which was cool. So Vegeta got sunned by Broly, and Goku had to join the fight. And Goku did his dirt. They kept mentioning sensu beans, which is really cool, because that's what the audience is asking, like, when are they gonna get these sensu beans? So they're thinking when they came to that. When they weren't thinking was, okay, Goku leaves the battle because Frieza brought Broly to a whole nother level. He had a flashback of the way he got someone really angry. I think it was when he killed Krillin. So he went over to Bardock's dad, to Broly's dad, excuse me, and pew, sliced him right there. And he goes, oh my god, one of those energy blasts, just straight energy blasts, got your dad. And that's when he went berserk. So Frieza, you know, very villainous, very evil thing to do. You're my villain. Good job on that. And that when it went too strong, that's when Goku took Vegeta with him, instant transmission, and went to Piccolo. And he asked Piccolo, do you have any sensu beans? No, he didn't have no sensu beans. But then they start get to talking, and it's all about how do we get stronger? We gotta do the fusion dance. This is a negative of the movie, big time. Vegeta was acting like, I don't want to do that stupid dance. So the world is at stake, and they made a little comedy out of it. They made a little suspense and tension. Was he gonna do it or not? And he agreed to do it. So they did practice runs of the dance, and then it was finally time to do it. The mistake of this movie is They failed at doing it, and he became a fat Gogeta. The problem is, you gotta wait 30 minutes again to do the dance. And so they waited 30 minutes again, they did the dance, and they failed again. So that's an hour that we're talking about. 60 minutes were wasted, or were spent with them over here. This isn't a TV show where when Trunks and Goten failed, there was drama happening everywhere else in the world. Like, they failed, yes, and then it cut away and it showed more of what Boo was doing with Babidi. That works there. Here, a whole hour passed. What was happening on Antarctica, on the ice continent, was Frieza was getting beat up by Broly this whole time. They didn't cut away to that once. You're meaning to tell me that a whole hour happened with them, Piccolo, and nothing is happening over there except he's taking punches by Broly? Then how strong are these punches? Because if Frieza was able to withstand all those punches, then how strong are those punches? Not very strong. Another problem is that when the third time they try, they actually sync up, become Gogeta. They joke about what's the name going to be, and they're like, all right, we're going to go with Gogeta. They instant transmission back, and someone asks, who are you? Oh, we're Gogeta. That's cool, that's funny. I'm going to give it credit for its laughs. It was very humorous, and I liked it for that aspect. But the first thing that happens when they get back is those two aliens, the ones that take a liking for Broly, the ones who smash the collar remote control. They had the Dragon Balls with them, and they said, well, there's not enough time. They made a mention of there's not enough time, or we're running out of time. Again, a whole hour has passed with these guys not doing anything, but it's until Gogeta showed up that they said that there's not enough time. You would have came to that conclusion while he was serving up Frieza and destroying the whole thing. Fault of the movie, big time, big mistake of the movie. Well, without saying too much, man, they win. Gogeta beats Broly, and when it came to getting to Frieza, he was in his Frieza golden form. Had him by the wrist. Gogeta did. Had him by the wrist, and Frieza turned back to pink and white, and they loosened the grip, and they let him escape. Like, he just flies away. They weren't... This is the biggest deal. What Vegeta said back when they were training on that island, he said that I am training because Frieza's still out there. Well, you had Frieza like this, the strongest you'll ever be, and you didn't do shit. It's inconsistent, stupid. I don't know how that made it past the editors. That was retarded. Because Vegeta... And I don't want to hear that Goku's half wasn't gonna let Vegeta kill. Goku would fully fight Frieza, at least. He just fought a good guy in Broly. He likes Broly. You see at the end of the movie he's offering him capsule corpses and stuff. He likes fighting. Goku's a fighter. So it's not like... There's no reason why Gogeta should not have fought Frieza. The half of Vegeta that is anti-Frieza would be there to fight him to kill him. And the half that's Goku would be there to fight him for sport. Regardless, a fight should be happening. I'm like one of those ratchet girls. A fight should have happened. The ending of the movie, I just explained that. Broly escapes because of the wish that his two friends from the Frieza Force, they're not in the Frieza Force anymore, but they made a wish to get him out and go back to his home planet. And they took their spaceship and got there, and they're like, hey, listen, we're back, hey, we're gonna be friends, we can't go back to the Frieza Force. So it looks like him, and especially that girl, took a liking for him. The girl alien and Broly and a second guy, they're all a family doing their thing on planet Vormir. My battery is running low. I want to give this movie somewhere in between 7 and an 8, and I don't give halves, so it's an 8, just for the nostalgia. It was a good, enjoyable movie. 100%. You should, it's a recommend, man. You should watch it. And I watched it in 40x with the chairs and that. Did it enhance? Yeah, they haven't mastered 40x. The wind was cool. The rain and stuff, that's cool. But just the chair shaking, they did a little bit too much. If you want to hear a 40x review, I'm not the guy. I don't watch enough movies in it. But if you want to see movie reviews of other sorts, then you go ahead and you follow Chillmonger on YouTube. People who make it to the end of YouTube videos without hitting like buttons are assholes. Don't be an asshole. Go ahead and click a thumbs up button, buddy. Thank you again, Chillmonger. I'm out of here, like Vladimir.